Hi, my name's Rich, and today we're going to be talking about the Prismari. It's a college from Strixhaven that focuses on elemental creation and expression. First off, we're going to look at the lore around the college and the origins, and then we're going to look at the subclass that was delivered in the Unearthed Arcana recently. When the official Strixhaven book comes out, there may be some changes and modifications, so we'll address them in the comments and in a future update video. But for now, let's get started. Oh, before we get started actually, I'd like to present to you the fighter subclass I made about a couple of weeks ago. It's called the Mentor, and it's free to download. If you head on over to the Ko-fi link or the Patreon down below, you can download it completely free, and I'd love to get any feedback to see what you guys think of it. It's just a little thank you, because I've been making these videos for a year now, and we've managed to make about 2,700 subscribers at the recording of this video, and I'm really proud of the community we've managed to create here. So yeah, check it out and tell me what you think. So let's get started on the lore then. So starting out, the whole Prismari subclass, the whole Prismari College is founded by Gazaleth Prismari, one of the 5 elder dragons that founded the Strixhaven Colleges. He has a flair for the dramatic, and in the Magic the Gathering, he's represented by the red and blue mana spells. And this converts quite well into the subclass that we're presented with. The Prismari College itself is all focused on expression and creating passionate elemental creatures and about chaos. It's definitely not a Law and Order style, it's on the chaotic side of the spectrum. And it's worth noting they have elementals as mascots as well, and there's some beautiful artwork out there of these elementals. And it looks like they're forged from a combination of stone and fire and ice and lightning. Now, in the Magic the Gathering setting, these cards are all about dealing big damage and having a very late burst of energy at the end of the game. And this expression is translated greatly into the lore and the writing about this college. Oh. The Prismari are the art, theatre and musical kids of Strixhaven, and magic is how they express themselves. Their spells can be spectacles of raw creativity or meticulously artistic expressions. All the world's a stage, and whether their art is informed by mind or emotion, Prismari always leaves a lasting impression. Prismari's colours reflect the metaphysical nature of art. It is about the technique and how it stimulates the mind, the blue approach, or it is about the expression and how it moves the soul, the red approach. Prismari is a college of art, performance and passion. Mages express themselves through raw magical power, channeling the elements in their work. Musicians, actors, dancers, painters and more all infuse magic into their craft, creating bigger-than-life displays bursting with energy. While it takes intelligence and skill for such spells, it also requires a hot-headed and passionate character to channel the muse effectively. Their motto is express yourself with elements. The magic is gesture and movement based, putting emphasis on the creation rather than the product. Dramatic. The sculpture is not magical, forming it is. Now, notable locations in this college are the Conjurer's Hall. It's a towering structure with glassed-in observation areas at the top, encircled by constantly changing strands of elemental energy. Artist mages can be seen for miles from the Conjurer's main turret, and the view has inspired many artistic creations. The Opus Walk is a winding path through the central campus buildings, along which hundreds of Prismari elemental creations are displayed. Some of the more famous pieces of magical art have been displayed along the Opus Walk for centuries, while others' transient bursts of creativity last only a few moments. The Fury Gale is a notorious region of the Prismari campus where abandoned creations of thousands of past artist mages have coalesced over the years. Roped off by wards and warning signs, Fury Gale is several square blocks of ever-changing magical energy, gales of ice and wind and fire, and elementals gone rogue. It's inherently dangerous but also a source of wild creative inspiration, and despite its dangers, it remains a popular spot for students who want to duel without being interrupted by authority figures. The Prismari mages are art, dance, drawing, fashion design, interior design, music, painting, performing arts, sculpture, and theatre. The two deans of the college are Ulvilda and Nasari, Ulvilda representing blue and Nasari representing red. Ulvilda is a master of artistic technique and literally never sleeps. The Jinn in this region don't need to. She trains in all disciplines of water elemental magic, wherever she's not focused on her curriculum. She's known for her individual feedback. After a review, she can tell a mage student one small piece of advice that blows their minds and completely changes their worldview. Ulvilda believes that good art comes from the head. To her, carefully measured strokes and deliberate object placement are the difference between fully realised art and a total mess. In contrast to that, the other dean, Nasari, is an Ifrit shaman and teacher. This dean always wants to be seen that art is bigger, more radical in concept, and more emotionally impactful. For the final project as a mage student, Nasari famously once turned in an earthquake that almost destroyed 3 campus buildings. The piece received a standing ovation from the mage student body and grumpy thumbs down from the campus construction golems. Nasari knows the true expression comes from the heart. They encourage their students to treat the entire world as their canvas, spreading emotion and excitement in their wake. Nasari takes little heed of Ulvilda's quiet masterpieces. In fact, they often forget Ulvilda works there at all. Now, there are some professors working at this campus as well. One of them, Varen, the voice of duality, is an Ifrit wizard, and in addition to being an accomplished elementalist, Varen served as a mentor to many Prismari pledge mages. She advocates enthusiastically for the importance of both raw passion and disciplined technique in any artistic pursuit. Also, this magnificent beast here is Zafari. As soon as Zafari came to age, his parents sent him to Strixhaven, assuming him to be a budding musical genius deserving the finest instruction in the world. In truth, though his talent was indeed prodigious, they were also growing tired of their house being randomly struck by lightning or engulfed in cyclones whenever he practiced. Even as he flourished as both a mage and a musician, he discovered a new aptitude: conducting. In addition to teaching, he serves as the Grand Maestro for Strixhaven's Orchestra of the Arcane, an elite extracurricular activity for top Prismari students. They practice only outdoors for obvious reasons, and their concerts fill the sky with beautiful explosions of elemental magic. Now, some notable students, and ones that were focused on a bit of the story with Magic the Gathering Strixhaven coverage, was Rutha Squallheart. She's a female orc mage student, and she's the focus of a lot of the content. Rutha is a unique and distinct individual with long, vibrant coloured hair and skin tinted with red and blue hues. Her clothes are expressive and dramatic, often consisting of scarlet fire and aqua blue water elements. The clothes mix as though she was painted in an ocean of lava. Rutha is unsurprisingly artistic, but can sometimes be hot-tempered, matching the flames she wears. Other notable students are Rowan and Will Kendrith. Now, the Kenrith twins, they're planeswalkers from Eldraine, but they're technically part of this Strixhaven, and they're young warrior mages. Rowan, who is bold and impetuous, augments her swordplay with crackling electrical energy that dances along her blade, while Will, reserved and contemplative, uses his power over ice to control the flow in a fight. They often coordinate their magic to make it most effective. Now, let's go over the subclass for the Prismari. The Mage of the Prismari is accessible for the Druid, the Sorcerer, and the Wizard as a subclass. There's a lot of controversy and disappointment that you couldn't be a Bard, which seems like a natural fit thematically for this subclass. But I think the Druid's ability to access elemental spells works well. The Sorcerer and its wild chaotic energies complement it, and of course every class has to have the Wizard. It is the Mages of Strixhaven after all. So the Mages of Prismari use surges of elemental energy to express who they are and how they see the world. At level 1, you gain access to 2 skills, creative skills and kinetic artistry. With creative skills, you gain proficiency in 2 of the following skills of your choice: acrobatics, athletics, nature or performance. Also at level 1 you get kinetic artistry. You can dash as a bonus action, and when you take this bonus action, choose one of the following additional benefits. You get Boreal Sweep, Scorching Whirl, or Thunderlight Jaunt. Boreal Sweep is described like this: icy water swirls around you. Until the end of your turn, you can move across the surface of water as if it were harmless solid ground. Additionally, when you leave a space within 5 feet of a creature, you can force that creature to make a strength saving throw against your spell DC. On a failed save, they're knocked prone, and it can only be affected by water once each turn. Now the second option is Scorching Whirl. Flames wreath your steps. Once before the end of your turn, you can force each creature within 5 feet of you to make a dex save. On a failure, they take fire damage equal to 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier. And the third option is Thunderlight Jaunt. You take on a nimble lightning form. Until the end of your turn, you can move through the spaces of other creatures and you do not provoke an opportunity attack. If you end your turn inside a creature's space, you are pushed into the nearest unoccupied space. This counts as a bonus action, and you can use it as many times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you gain them all back at the end of a long rest. Now, so far it seems like this class is shaping up to be a more in-your-face and acrobatic class, similar to a rogue or bard, being able to maneuver around the field and get into close combat. Being able to maneuver and get around the field, getting into close combat, doesn't really suit the druid, sorcerer or wizard. So if you choose the subclass, you'll be taking a slightly Gish style, getting in there, dealing damage with cantrips and spells, and then maneuvering around the battlefield. Thematically it works well with the subclass and the college, but mechanically I don't think this is a very strong option. But if you're taking this, you're taking it to express yourself, not to be crunchy and roll the maximum amount of damage on a die. At level 6+, you get the option to choose Favoured Medium. You have honed your forms of elemental expression to best suit your ideas. You can choose to get resistance to cold, fire or lightning. Additionally, when you cast a spell that uses one of these elements, you emit a spectral aura of artistry, which extends 5 feet from you in every direction, but not through total cover. This lasts until the end of your next turn. While the aura is active, each creature of your choice has resistance to your chosen damage type within the aura, as you shape your favoured elemental medium around them. You can change your choice of damage whenever you finish a long rest. Now this is just begging for someone to cast Fireball at their feet and potentially prevent damage to their party, but also engulfing enemies. This could have potential with the spell Thunderstep as well. At level 10 and above, you gain access to choose Focused Expression. Honing your talents, you skillfully infuse your motions with even more potent expressions of elemental might. Once per turn, when you deal damage to at least one target, you gain an additional effect determined by the damage type you chose for your favourite medium at level 6+. If you choose Cold, one additional target of your choice takes 1d6 cold damage and must make a con save against your save DC. On a failed save, the target's speed is reduced by 10 feet until the end of its next turn, and it can only be affected once per round. If you chose Fire, you gain 1d6 extra fire damage, and then one creature of your choice within 30 feet takes an extra 1d6 temporary hit points. So this can be used to help buff up your party. But if you're a sorcerer or wizard that's focusing on fire, I don't think buffing up your party with temp hit points is your main priority. It should be dealing as much damage as possible. And finally, if you choose Lightning, you deal an extra 1d6 lightning damage and you force their opponent to make a dex save. On a failed save, the target is unable to take reactions until the next turn, because they're all shocked. Now this is highly situational. Before going into a fight, you have no idea if the opponent can use their reactions effectively, so it's very, very specific. It's a niche pick. And finally, the last ability you can choose is Impeccable Physicality. And for a level 14 plus ability, it's not amazing. I try to stay away from being negative on this channel, but I really can't justify the abilities in this subclass. Your relentless dedication and training have instilled an outstanding sense of precision and grace in your art. You gain proficiency in dexterity saving throws if you do not already have it. Additionally, when you make a dex saving throw, you can treat a d20 roll of a 9 or lower as a 10. Now, if you're multi-classing, this is great because it works. All of these abilities complement the more martial classes, but to put this on a wizard is just asking for trouble because they're so fragile to begin with. If you want a up-and-close melee combat wizard, then check out the Blade Singer. It's one of my most popular videos, so it should be linked down in the description there. But yeah, at level 14 plus, you have so many options and abilities with other subclasses. Gaining proficiency in dex saves just doesn't cut the mustard. There must be something amazing about this subclass that I've missed. If there's anything I've not noticed that you think really makes the subclass shine, leave it in the comments and I'm sure to respond. But yeah, thanks for watching if you're still hanging around, and if you want to help out the channel, just pop a like down below, give me a thumbs up or leave a comment, tell me why you don't like the video. And also, if you want to help support the channel monetarily, you can make a one-off donation on the Ko-fi link, or you can go to the Patreon, which is going to potentially have subclasses every month. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye!